Olá, boa noite. O Exou Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 15 de The Book of Unwritten Tales 2. Bob, o rei, dará a centelha da vida a Ivo quando ela acordar, mas a mãe dela só a livrará do encanto se for convencida de que é melhor deixar Ivo tomar as próprias decisões. Então, Nate foi para Lorem Ipsum para pegar o livro dos mortos na tumba do faraó Tut-Tut. Após muito tempo de impasse tentando tudo em tudo, por consulta na internet, soubemos de uma falha no jogo. É hora agora de voltar ao Pirata Vermelho para tentar a bússola mágica. No jogo, não há nenhuma indicação de que já deveríamos deixar a tumba.
Cast off.
Stop this thing.
Nope, me neither. I think we all know who's responsible for that.
Put it up.
You stay here. Prepare the cannons and be ready to rescue me if necessary.
Oh.
Give me the damned elf immediately!
There's no damned elf here. Get lost.
Chantal.
When Ivo told me about Seastone, I could hardly believe it. Even if the power of the brat's sorcerer grandpa is concentrated in the wand, where did he get all the power from? It looks like the lady doesn't dare venture into the palace. Not a bad idea, considering the kind of toys the Red Pirates got in there.
Flor.
That's the third biggest flower I've ever seen.
Pegar.
The flower is too pretty and smells too good to just be left alone.
Edifícios transformados.
That's wrong. Impressive, but wrong. That's some transformation. There must be powerful magic at work.
Pilha de guloseimas.
An unhealthy, artificial-looking, oversweet, fatty parody of a foodstuff. Wonderful!
Pegar.
Hey, what are you doing there?
I'm, admiring the fine delicacies.
Those aren't for you. They're for my guests. If you want to take part, I'm gonna have to make you pretty first.
No, that's all right. I'll keep my hands off your guests' food. As unhealthy and delicious as it might look, I'm not going to risk being transformed for it.
Mesa posta.
It's a powerful kid's magic that can force grown men to sit at tiny tables and pretend they like tea. Fortunately, I'm immune.
Martelo.
Not much escaped the brat's magic. This hammer is one of the lucky few.
Trapos de cores vivas.
Colorful cloths. They don't seem to fulfill any purpose, apart from being colorful.
Dá para pegar.
I'd better not speak to her. She could turn me into a small, hairy, pink critter in the blink of an eye. And who would want something like that hanging around?
Falar com a senhora Van Buren.
Lady Van Buren, I assume.
Yes? Who are you? What do you want?
Me chamo Wayne Slayer.
My name is Wayne Schlegel, from the Seastone Life and Accident Insurance Company.
What do you want here?
There was an accident here. A pirate lost an eye. Now he has to wear a wooden leg. There was clearly a problem in processing the claim.
There's no one here anymore. Apart from that damned red pirate and the elf he's hiding.
Elfa? Que tipo de elfa?
Elf? What elf?
A thieving elf! She robbed me while I had to deal with the rest of her kind.
You've been to Elfborough? I heard it's supposed to be very pretty at this time of year.
We couldn't get in. Protective charms that not even my little darling could do anything about.
What a shame.
and then I go back home and find I've been robbed by that damned elf and her mob. They will suffer the consequences.
Tem certeza que ela está aqui?
And you're sure the elf's here?
Of course. She flew here from Seastone on a magic hippogriff. We followed her trail to here, and there are no indications that the hippogriff has flown on.
Por que não entra aí e pega a elfa sem mais?
You seem to have considerable magical power at your command, madam. Why don't you just magic the elf out of there?
If it were really so simple, do you really think I'd be wasting my precious time here? That red scoundrel threatened us! Us! He has a magic weapon in there! Ancient, divine magic which even my Chantal can't do anything against.
Talvez eu possa ajudá-la a falar com o pirata vermelho.
Perhaps I could go in there and talk to the red pirate. I'm an insurance salesman. No one would dare do anything to an insurance salesman.
That's true. And every hour that I waste here prevents me from taking care of the transformation of the country. Go in. Convince that old scoundrel.
Admiro o seu trabalho, Lady.
What you've done with this island is very impressive, Lady Van Buren. Just like in Seastone, you and your daughter are a real asset to this land.
Thank you very much. Politicians so seldom receive the thanks that's due to them. One works tirelessly for years on end for oneself and one's friends, and do the electorate thank you for it? No.
Sad. Very sad. Then I may take my leave, Lady Van Buren?
Yes, yes.
Entrar.
Stop! Stop right there!
Whoa, whoa, easy does it. Put that thing away.
Nate? Have you seen what they've done to my island?
Mudaram a decoração pouco.
Let me guess. You've redecorated, so the pirates that fled come back.
Oh, it was that little brat and her mother. Turned up here saying I should hand over the elf.
And you explained politely that the elf is no longer here and that unfortunately you can, as such, be of no help.
I kicked them out. Then they started transforming my island. They would have got me too if I didn't have the head.
Como resgataste as estátuas?
I see you were at least able to rescue the statues.
Statues? They're my friends. Tell him. Friends? I brought them in here long before them witches came. A man shouldn't be alone. Isn't that right, Martha? Right.
Yeah. I've even heard of people who went mad because they had no one to talk to.
Can't happen to me. I've got friends, and things are on the up. Friends?
A líder do conselho, Van Buren, anda atrás de Eve.
Van Buren's convinced that Ivo's still here. I'm supposed to persuade you to hand her over.
I'd do that at a drop of a hat. That elf is in league with dark forces. She was trying to drive me crazy. Do you hear what she said about the invisible force that determines what we do?
Van Buren isn't going to believe that Ivo's not here.
You've got to get that old bag off my island, Nate. You have to.
Necessito de uma bússola. Podemos fazer trato.
I'm here because I need the spirit compass.
What? Not because you missed my company?
And because I've missed your company. But mainly the compass. A friend of mine won't find their way out of the realm of the dead without it.
I don't care about that. It's my compass. Right, Pierre? Right. You see?
How about I get Van Buren off the island, and in return you lend me the compass? You'll get it back in one piece.
You get rid of them both, mother and daughter.
That's the deal.
William, what do you say? It's stew today. Ah, good old Bill. All you ever think of is food. All right, Nate. If you get those two monstrosities off my island, I'll lend you the compass for a day.
Deal.
Deal!
I've got to go.
See you later.
See you later.
Estátua.
Perhaps Old Red's friends can persuade him to give me the compass. I'd better not. Old Red would notice if I moved the statue. Those aren't really friends of the Red Pirate. If they were, they'd have drawn his attention to the fact that he's completely lost his mind. I knew William. He doesn't talk as much now he's a statue, and he doesn't suffer from BO anymore. The bird doesn't sound anything like William. But if Old Red can accept that William is now a statue, he's hardly going to care about his new voice. The Medusa head is the only thing keeping Van Buren out. No one in their right mind picks a fight with old magic like that. Neither does Van Buren. The Spirit Compass. It can show the Archmage the way out of the spirit world. Few books are consulted for words of wisdom as often as this one, but I think they rarely help. The ape has got nothing to match the Van Buren's magic, but he could easily take me out if I try to steal the compass.
E ele vai conseguir a bússola expulsando a família Rosa. Falar com a Chantal.
Hello there.
What do you want? Go away!
Você é a pequena de Lady Van Buren.
I'm Nate. You're the council leader Van Buren's daughter, right?
Uh-huh. And you are not invited to my party.
Quite, pretty what you've done with the city.
I got it all out of my book. And Mommy says I've got a real artificial talent.
Artistic. Although, artificial works too. Wouldn't it be fun to move on and transform something else? Or to travel back to Seastone and have an afternoon nap?
Mommy's looking for the elf who stole things from us.
Yes, but aren't you the one in charge here? Just tell her you want to go somewhere else.
But I've got everything ready for my tea party, and the guests will arrive any minute.
But,
Vai ter uma festa?
a tea party, huh?
Exactly like in my book. I'm celebrating my birthday. I've got a table, tea, and lovely things to eat, and any minute now the guests will arrive. The Mad Hatter and the White Rabbit. And then I'll get presents.
I'd love to be a guest at your tea party.
Ew, you can't come. You aren't a Mad Hatter, and you're not a White Rabbit either. And you're a boy, and ugly.
Now listen here.
I can make you pretty.
Não,
Thank you, but that's not necessary.
tem certeza que os convidados vêm?
And this Hatter and Rabbit? Will you make them appear by magic?
No, I can only change things. They will come here. I've done everything exactly the same as in my book, so they've gotta come. I always get very angry if I don't get exactly what I want.
Okay.
And they all have to bring me presents, and when the Hatter and the White Rabbit are there, then Mommy has to come over as well. Right, Mommy?
What, sweetie?
When the other guests have arrived, then you'll come over too and give me an unbirthday present, right?
Of course, my sweet. As soon as a Mad Hatter and a White Rabbit appear, then I'll give you the most super-duper present ever.
Ha! Did you hear that? The biggest, bestest present ever!
Ai, essa festa da Tigu está complicada. Fala-me do chapeleiro louco.
Who is this Mad Hatter you're expecting?
He's a Hatter, and he's mad.
Uh-huh. And what is it that makes him a Hatter? And what makes him so mad?
He wears a top hat and a colorful neckerchief, and I'm not sure why he's mad, but he is.
I see.
Bem, o cachecol colorido eu já tenho e cartola de chapeleiro maluco tem lá Na biblioteca da Ivo. Então fale-me do coelho branco.
A white rabbit at a tea party? Curious.
You think?
Yeah, and perhaps you should give him a watch if he doesn't turn up soon.
No, my guests have to give me a present.
I've gotta go.
Yes? Otherwise you'll scare my guests away.
Ir ao observatório. Ele pode consultar o
Just
oráculo?
one more piece! Just one more little piece and you've done it!
Hey, Eyes.
Nate, nice to see you again.
Come on. Knowing you, you never lost sight of me.
Your life wasn't so boring over the past few years, I must admit. Good season.
Pelo que veio, você não mudou.
I half expected to find you transformed into a huge ball of fluff with big goggle eyes.
The council leader and the charming Chantal are concentrating their attention on the palace. Fortunately.
I guess you also want her off the island as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. I like tragedies, but I've never wanted to be in one.
A mãe de Ivo a fez sumir num sono profundo.
You know why I'm here?
Of course, Princess Ivo. Oh, look at her. Isn't it sad? An elf in the prime of her life, sleeping away her best years.
I'm going to prevent that from happening.
And I hope you're successful. This is more boring than watching the cricket.
Como posso resgatar Ivo?
Ivo's father said I can't rescue Ivo against her mother's will.
That would be a bad idea. Although I'd like to see what would happen if you tried.
So how can I convince Ivo's mother that she's not acting in her daughter's best interests?
Isn't she? The future's in constant flux. Even I can't see it clearly in my mirrors. A powerful priestess like her might be able to see more, but clearly she doesn't want to.
She thinks Ivo's thrown her life away, and she thinks it's impossible that she could be happy with a child, or with me.
A difficult task that you do. Come on, number 3! Run! Come on! Yes! Sundancer won!
Sabe quem é o pai do bebê da Ivo?
Ivo's pregnancy. Do you know who... you know...
Ivo said you weren't the father, but if not you, who?
I'm not the oracle with 100 eyes. How should I know who it is?
Eyes that are blind if there's no reflective surface nearby. Ivo seemed very surprised by the news herself. She spoke of a curse that might have struck her.
A curse. Yeah, sure.
Esse espelho que mostra Ivo, posso pegar?
Can I have that mirror?
Of course not!
I could always keep an eye on Ivo with it, and maybe it'll come in useful some other way.
It's already useful. It means I can see what happens next in the story. Anyway, I've never given any of my mirrors away. They are rare collector's items.
You collect mirrors?
Hmm,
Rewind. Delete. Stupid question.
eu tenho espelho para negociar. O primeiro espelho da história da humanidade. Encontrei esse espelho numa tumba.
This little mirror came from a tomb in Lorem Ipsum. Is it worth anything?
Is that... Oh. Do you know what you've got there?
I'll take that as a yes then.
That's the mirror. The first one. Thousands of years old. Just imagine all the things it's seen. All the classics you could watch in it.
Wanna swap? The mirror? The first one? Thousands of years old? In mint condition? For the mirror connected to Ivo's room?
Yes, of course. Take it. Wow. Mirrors used to be so small.
I gotta go.
Yes, go. Henceforth.
Quadro, espelho com meninos felizes.
Some happy children playing in a garden. Ivo's mother refuses to believe that Ivo's children could have a happy future too. Who cares if the future queen has an illegitimate child? Well, apart from me. Thousands of lives are taking place behind these mirrors. Tragedies, comedies, and quite a lot of everyday life.
Mas o que vai me adiantar o espelho da Ivo?
Ivo is still asleep in her bed. Nothing is going to change if I don't come up with something.
Não, eu posso ir direto por aqui sem voltar para a nave? Ir a Elfburg.
Cast off.
Chapéu. Cartola.
A green top hat. It should be useful. Green top hats always are.
Aproveitar e passar no quarto da Ivo.
What I'd really like to do is go up there, give the old boot a slap round the face, and get Ivo out of this place. But Ivo's mother is a powerful priestess. She's probably got a dozen ways she could incapacitate me without me even noticing. I have to be careful.
Espelho da Ivo.
Ivo's mirror. When I was here, her fat bird sat in front of it most of the time.
Critter, venha comigo vestir uma fantasia aqui. Revistar o armário. Aqui tinha coelho branco, não tinha?
Wasn't there a... Ah, there. The rabbit costume.
Tinha sim. E agora pode pegar alguma
I
coisa.
should be able to find something useful for dressing up here. White powder, for example.
Chapéu e o lenço. E pro Critter a roupa de coelho.
It's embarrassing enough that Critter has to run around Tugator in the costume. But here? Better not.
Ah, vamos primeiro pra lá e depois colocar, né?
Cast off. We haven't got a present for that brat yet, and I don't want to see Critter in drag for any longer than necessary.
Não. Não é hora, então. Alô, menina, cheguei pra festa.
Hello. I'm the Hatter. The Mad Hatter.
Just like in my book! Are you really mad?
Sure, completely insane. I think you're a revolting child, and you have terrible taste.
You must be really mad if you're making fun of me! Have you got a present for me too?
Tem coisa mais importante do que presentes. Tenho um telefone que fala.
I've got a great gadget for you. A magical communicator.
A what?
If you pull the string tight and someone speaks into the tin at one end, you can hear what he says at the other end.
That's completely lame! If you want something, then you could just scream loudly for it.
But it's not lame.
It is! And totally impractical, with all those cables and all. Huh. Now it'll work without the stupid cable.
Even better.
Say what? That isn't a present! I want a real present! Something that I can hold!
Ela inventou o telefone sem fio. Que tipo de presente você quer, então?
And what kind of presents would you like?
Good ones! Anyone wishing to come to my birthday party must give me a good present!
And what is a good present?
I like sweet and fluffy animals, I like things for girls, and I like fairy tales.
Nate! What's going on? Why did you take Ivo's mirror?
Let's give them a bit of privacy. What do you think?
Private what?
Crianças felizes.
All right.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
I'm transmitting the images of the happy playing children to the mirror in my bag.
But you're blocking my view.
It's important, and it won't take long, and you owe me one.
I owe you nothing. And you haven't got rid of the Van Burens yet.
Agora tem que fazer um perfume espremendo essa flor lá no espremedor da tumba.
Cast off.
Não precisa pôr esse tonto nos ombros. Só para espremer a flor.
All right, I've pressed the oil out of the flower. It's sticky and smells strong.
Deveria ter um vaporizador, né, para pôr o perfume. E eu não peguei lá na penteadeira.
There's nothing left of the flower other than a sticky, oily, strong-smelling mass. I'm probably gonna have the smell of the flower on my hands for days.
Vai ter que diluir. Mas ainda vai ter que guardar em algum lugar. Será que eu deixei de pegar? Aqui no...
Anything else? The perfume atomizer. Empty, unfortunately.
Suspeitei desde o princípio. Tinha que ter mais alguma coisa.
Nah, nothing of use.
Agora não tem mais nada.
An atomizer for perfume and eau de toilet. It didn't survive a day on board with Critter. It's all in.
Tá.
The oily plant residue is too thick to atomize. I'll have to dilute it.
Vamos voltar lá na Ivo para devolver o
All
espelho
right then.
e diluir o perfume.
Cast off.
Mas não põe lá?
Why did she suddenly put Ivo to sleep? Did Ivo keep the fact that she's pregnant secret even from her parents? Could that even be the reason that she left Elfborough? Bob said that only she can wake Ivo up, and no one can force her. I have to convince her that she's not acting in Ivo's best interest. She doesn't want to damage her daughter or cause her unnecessary pain. It looks like she's asleep. But her father said it's more than just sleep. Time's standing still for her. Her mother could leave her in this state for months, or even years. I have to wake her up. She doesn't deserve this, despite everything that's happened.
O espelho só depois que se livrar das rosas? O olho não deixou o espelho ficar lá onde você colocou, mas ele já pegou?
This mirror and the one from the observatory have a special connection.
Nesse tanque ou lá no tanque do brilho da lua? Que vai dissolver aqui mesmo.
I don't know if it's the best perfume ever, but as I made it, chances are it is.
Ele tem que deixar o espelho da Ivo na frente do espelho das crianças brincando para dar uma transmissão para aquele espelho que ele roubou, trocou, né, com o olhão, receber essa imagem dos meninos e esse espelho ele mostrar para a mãe da Ivo. Está certo. Vai transmitir a imagem do espelho que está captando do outro espelho. Então agora eu tenho o presente.
Hi.
Oh, Hatter! Have you got a present for me?
Trouxe um perfume fantástico.
I've got a wonderful perfume for you.
Perfume? Achoo!
Splendid, isn't it? All the ladies in Lorem Ipsum are wearing it this season.
But it's making my eyes water.
That's how it has to be. Don't you know the saying, one must suffer to be beautiful? You shouldn't really be wearing this kind of thing yet. It's only for the big girls.
Only for grown-ups?
Yes, little girls shouldn't wear perfume. Only women of the world.
I am a woman of the world!
I thought so. But don't tell your mother anything about it.
Thank you. What a lovely present. Please take a seat, Mr. Hatter.
At once, milady. I, just want to watch out for my friend, the White Rabbit.
It's about time he arrived.
Usar o telefone sem fio em alguma das estátuas aqui.
Give Nate the compass, bird brain.
Did you say that?
Huh? I'm over here.
Be careful what you say, William.
What? William's dead. I'm talking to you. What? I've had enough of you and this whole charade. Give Nate what he needs and let me go.
You ungrateful tit! I told you you're only to speak when I ask you something.
What? No one listens to you, fatty. What?
Fatty?
What?
I won't be insulted by a feathered mongrel. One more word.
And what, bird brain?
Oh, just you wait. No, come back. Come back. Who's gonna talk to me now?
Ah, ele tirou o pássaro daqui para dar o pássaro para a
I
menina.
gotta go.
See you later.
Ela gosta de bichinhos fofos. Eu tava estranhando por que ele fez isso do nada. Mas também, cadê o pássaro agora? Ah, tá aqui.
I think the parrot is happy not having to play the one-man entertainer in the madhouse anymore. Hey there, little fella. Come down here.
Sementes? Semente de girassol?
Hey, you up there. Are you hungry? Gotcha!
Já temos um presente, então. Partimos agora, Critter? Põe a sua roupa de playmat.
The Van Buren brat is expecting a Mad Hatter and a White Rabbit at her tea party. I've got an idea. All you've got to do is play the White Rabbit. It worries me a little how easy it is to persuade you to do this kind of thing.
Ele já maquiou automaticamente.
All right. You're white, you've got a costume on, you've got a present. It's now or never. May I introduce you to the White Rabbit?
That doesn't look like a normal rabbit at all.
Yes, well, you know.
Gosh, it's a super rabbit.
Only the best for your party.
Have you got a present for me, little Snuffles?
Mr. Hoppy thought you might like a rare animal from his homeland.
Oh, that really is pretty. Pretty? Squawk?
And he talks.
Ooh! Oh, that's such a lovely present. Please, Mr. Bird, do take a seat. Do take a seat, Mr. Hoppy. May I offer you some tea?
So, Mr. Hoppy and I are here. Wasn't your dear mother going to join us?
Uh-huh. Mommy, it's tea time! The Hatter and the Rabbit are here!
So what? It's lovely that you found someone to play with, but Mummy has to work.
You promised me me the biggest and bestest present ever as soon as the Hatter and the Rabbit arrived.
But darling, those aren't...
I want my present now! Where is it?
But darling, we already talked about this. You mustn't get so overexcited and stop pointing that thing at me.
I want my present!
Of course. It's, in Seastone. You can choose something from the shop. I can't do anything here by the look of it.
Vamos pegar a nossa bússola. Quer dizer, a bússola emprestada.
Good news.
Have they gone?
Certainly. It was hard work, but worth it for a magic compass.
What magic compass?
The spirit compass you promised me.
I don't remember that. Do you, Pierre? Nah, Pierre doesn't either.
You said you'd lend me the spirit compass if I got rid of the Van Burens.
So what? Did you hear me say pirate's word of honor?
You didn't say pirate's word of honor.
Therefore, according to pirate law, no contract was entered into. You should have known that, Nate.
But I need the compass.
And I'm not going to hand it over that easily. You should have known that too. Out with him and bolt the door.
You're gonna regret this. What did you say, Pierre? Fat loony? I wouldn't dare say that. That thug bolted the gate after he threw me out. Just look at that. Thinks he's something special just because he beat up a fully grown man. He's got the key, but I don't want to get into a fight with him.
Ele tem a chave e tá brincando com ela. Agora então eu posso colocar o espelho para captar os meninos brincando?
All right. It won't take long. Anyway, you owe me a favor for getting rid of the Van Burens.
All right then, but hurry up!
Então não deu certo pegar a bússola, mas talvez dê certo despertar a Ivo. Mas eu nem fiz o teste de olhar o outro espelho aqui.
The mirror shows me what the mirror from Ivo's room sees. Happy children playing in a beautiful garden.
É, deu certo, sim. Então esse que eu tenho que mostrar. Ou deixar lá para a mãe da Ivo ver. Mostrar para ela.
If this doesn't work, then I'm a goner. Don't hurt me. You have to see this.
You did this to my baby!
I didn't. And you should have a look at this. Your grandchild.
Stop making such a racket. Nora, keep those kids of yours in check.
Well...
You want to see into the future and find out what you've done to her? I'll show you.
Why don't you ask Granny whether she'll tell you a story? Don't call me Granny.
A story!
Do you really want to keep her imprisoned here so that she hates you for the rest of her life?
Granny tells the best stories.
All right then. What story do you want to hear?
No. I see I was wrong.
I made a decision for Ivo once because I thought it was the best for her. It broke my heart, and it was wrong. Only one person should make decisions on Ivo's life. Ivo. I'll wait outside.
Oh, what's happened? You stunned me!
Not quite so fast, darling.
How much time has passed?
A little. The human is still here. He's waiting outside.
Nate continua aí? E por que você fez? Nem sequer me deixou explicar.
You cast a spell on me. You didn't even give me a chance to explain the whole thing to you.
I was in shock. I should have listened to you. One can be full of good intentions and still do the wrong thing.
And apologies will not make what's done undone.
No, they don't. But one can only try to do the right thing and hope to be forgiven. Ivo.
Adeus, mãe, ou adeus... Será que ela diz adeus, mãe, brava, e nunca mais fala? E adeus com reticências quer dizer até depois, até qualquer hora, algum dia, talvez? Então, segundo a Bá, eu devo marcar adeus com reticências.
See you later, Mother.
Ah, te vejo depois.
What's taking so long?
I fetched this.
Are you okay?
Yes, fine. Dad says I have you to thank for this.
I didn't want to just leave you lying there. And while I was at it, I discovered Lorem Ipsum.
Then you'll help me transform Alistair back?
What do you mean, help you? The critter and me did all the work while you were asleep.
Oh, you... Oh.
We'll bring Alistair back. That's all. It changes nothing, all right?
I don't want anything else. Now let's get out of here. Get some distance between me and my mother.
You heard, critter. Cast off. Cast off. It's not safe for you on the island. Van Buren could return.
In that case, it won't be safe for you either.
Yes, but it's not just about yourself now.
Oh, well, okay. Call if you need me.
I will. Mmm. Delicious. It's impossible to keep your hands off this kind of thing.
Ele voltou aqui só para fazer uma exceçãozinha. Comer toda a pilha
I'm not proud.
e ainda aguardar mais um pouco.
No, I'm gonna be strong. For now.
Hipopótamo rosa, que estava com fome.
Would you like some of these sweets? Whoa, Betty! Someone's got one hell of a sweet tooth. I haven't got any more.
Mas tem muito mais lá embaixo.
There's about 200 weights of these unhealthy treats waiting for you over there, in front of the palace. Yes, go, but make sure you don't eat them all at once. I don't want to talk to her unless it's absolutely necessary. It's painful. Not real pain, just inside.
Comeu uma boa parte da pilha aqui.
What have you done, little fella? You... The whole lot? How is that even... I mean, it's gotta have gone somewhere.
Fez uma pilha e tanto de cocô.
Not only is she blessed with an appetite, she's also got fantastic digestion. That's the biggest, most formidable, and most glittery heap of dung I've ever seen.
Pegar.
You want me to... That's... it's still warm.
O que ele vai fazer? Vai dar uma martelada na cabeça do macaquinho? Lutar com macaco.
There's a saying about people who bring knives to gunfights, and I don't even have a knife. Cast off.
Vamos pra tumba. Agora que a Evil está junto.
Impressive. Did you excavate all this?
We had some help.
Who?
He's waiting in the pyramid, the entrance of which me and Critter opened all on our own. May I introduce you to, the mummy?
Oh, no.
Mortimer?
Oh, I am not going to talk to you.
You know each other?
We know each other.
I don't know what it's doing here, but for the sake of my sanity, I'm going to ignore it.
You really do know each other.
What's wrong with her?
I can hear a kind of patter of thousands of little feet.
Oh, I'm sure that's nothing. Just get in there. Giddy up.
There are some nasty-looking spikes waiting at the bottom of the pitfall, and some scarab beetles are scurrying around between them.
I would suggest that we don't fall into that pit, then.
Escaravelhos que comem esterco. Tá? Por isso que ele foi catar esterco do hipopótamo
The ball
rosa.
must weigh tons. Isn't there another way into the burial chamber?
Burial chamber?
I've somehow got to move it.
Tudo de novo. Colocar o braço.
Right. Again.
Mudar pro Critter. Correr na roda. E daí mudar pro Nate para ver se muda alguma coisa lá fora. Tem luz.
Ah.
É, tem luz.
What the devil?
Oh, scarabs. We often use them in traps. They eat the flesh of the bones of any intruders. Fantastic animals.
Yeah, fantastic.
E eles passam por aqui para a armadilha.
Perhaps a little bit. Okay, they seem to really like it.
Então eu vou colocar na pedra para eles irem na pedra. E daí rolar a pedra pra armadilha.
Delicious. At least I don't have to carry it around with me anymore. The dung beetles can smell the dung. They're very excited. They're running back and forth on the walls of the hole. They're looking for a way to get to the ball.
Esvaziando tudo lá. Ah, não, eu deixei a madeira com o Critter. É, está com o Critter.
Thank you.
E agora sem luz eu posso colocar isso lá? Ou o Critter tem que voltar lá para pôr a luz?
Run, my little workers! Go forth and get yourselves the mother of all dung balls! They're doing it. Together they're strong. However, not very clever.
Atropelou. Mas de novo vai ter que ir lá para poder olhar. Critter tem que voltar para hidrelétrica.
Right. Again.
Hidrelétrica não. Correr elétrica. Correr para gerar energia.
All right then. What happens here?
Tem armadilha?
A grate, and some kind of enclosure behind it. But it doesn't look as if there's much danger lying in wait for me. There are only a couple of skeletons on the floor.
What has happened to the basilisks?
I'm no zoologist, but it might be problematic if you don't feed basilisks for a few thousand years.
But the scarabs survived.
Yeah, but that's because there's enough shit in this world.
Volante.
A
Hot.
wheel in the wall. Judging by its position, I'd say it opens the grate next to it.
Quite right. We had blind slaves who cared for the basilisks. They were only allowed to open the enclosures when all others had left the room.
The basilisks don't need the wheel anymore.
Empurrar a palanca.
Something happened. And now it's been reversed again.
Alguém tem que segurar aí, então.
Right. Again.
Tem que dar a roda pro Critter manter a porta aberta por aqui. Daí o Nate vai poder entrar nessa sala de máquinas. Use essa roda aqui, Critter.
Here. You might need this more than me.
Look to. Cofre de pedra.
Is this another sarcophagus or something?
No, that is a tool chest.
Quite a lot of work just for storing some tools, don't you think?
Lorem Ipsum was built with knowledge and these tools. We revere them.
Abre.
Do you know how to open the chest?
You have to set the right code. It is yellow, red, red, blue, green.
You remember it?
Why wouldn't I?
Various hammers, a compass, a plumb line? Not very impressive. What's this?
That's just a standard time manipulator. You'd be better off taking the plumb line.
Time manipulator?
It stops time for a few seconds in a limited area. Very handy if you need to carry out work on fast-moving parts. But the plumb line will allow you to build things perfectly perpendicular to the ground. That's like magic.
I think I'll stick with the time manipulator thingy.
Dá pra usar aqui, então.
Conspicuous looking holes in the wall. There's some kind of lever back there. It's probably important. Nice.
Se ele usar o manipulador do tempo aqui. Então.
That could work. I wonder whether I could just pluck the darn prickly things out of the air.
Only if you're not too bothered about the poison they've been dipped in.
Perhaps I can snake my way through. I could go here, then there. You'd have to be a contortionist to get through the balls without touching one.
Tem que ser o Critter, então.
Here, take the time manipulator. But be careful, and don't point it at anyone.
Agora o Nate tem que ver o que acontece com isso. Vai pedir para Ivo ficar correndo ali? Ah não, agora a iluminação permanece. Pensei que iria ter que pedir para Ivo ficar correndo na roda. Ah, Ivo tem a centelha da vida, eu não olhei.
Nate doesn't like puzzles much. Too much thinking for him. But whatever this was here, he appears to have solved it. A spark of life from my father. Ancient, powerful magic. The primordial mother used it to breathe life into all things.
Mas agora os dois fecharam. Ah, para girar. Ah, ela tem que ficar ali e mudar para ele ir lá girar o disco de pedra.
Let me guess. The Pharaoh's burial chamber is behind this door.
Yes, it is.
How do you open it?
You have to... Have you given it a good tug yet?
That's it.
Wow.
The burial chamber of Pharaoh Tut-Tut.
Yes, that's him. Did you ever see such an ugly fellow?
So that's probably the Book of the Dead.
Looks like it. Let's grab it and get out of here.
No.
Oh, sure. I just wanted a peek.
I say, this is impressive. I don't remember us having anything like this. You built me, oh venerable Tut-Tut.
O Tut-Tut está nas minhas costas?
Venerable Tut-Tut?
Chu-chu?
Yes?
You are Pharaoh Tut-Tut?
It would appear so. Hey, you! I say, help me get off this camel. King Tut is back.
Hooray!
In any case, I guess it's okay if we take the Book of the Dead now.
Where did you get that idea, mortal? I didn't get to be God King of the Desert by giving my things away.
That much is clear.
Faraó cha-cha. Cha-chu.
Just look at him. Just sitting there like a pharaoh.
Golem.
Either Tut used to be much bigger, or the statue wasn't built to scale. I wonder whether there's something he's trying to compensate for.
Vamos negociar.
Hi.
Greetings, my subject.
Você chamou louco você mesmo, Chachu.
I'm quite sure you said something about the crazy Pharaoh Tut-Tut when we were outside the pyramid.
I'm sure I'd remember that.
When we were coming in, you called yourself ugly. And I would never doubt the word of the Pharaoh. You are crazy and ugly.
Where am I?
I'd never have thought there were golems back in your day.
Of course there were. I invented them. How could we possibly have erected the pyramids without giant living stone statues? With ropes, sledges, and a lot of muscle power?
Whenever I hear a golem story, it always ends in catastrophe.
Oh, shush. If you deploy them wisely and in moderation, then nothing bad will happen. Our flowering lordum ipsum out there is living proof of that.
Necessito o livro e você me deve.
The Book of the Dead. You've got it, I need it.
What exactly are you trying to tell me?
Don't you think you owe me something?
Owe you something?
You'd never have got in here without me. I opened the pyramid. I opened the gate to the burial chamber with my friends. I even carried you around on my back half the time.
Do we know each other?
Farewell, son of the desert.
What? Who?
Olhar as pinturas.
The murals seem to have something to do with this board with the marbles. Perhaps a kind of ritual. A board with 5, 9, 16 marbles that form a kind of pyramid. No idea what that is. This tunnel is clearly much more recent than the rest. I guess this was Mortimer's way out of here once the stone ball blocked his way back. Hi.
Que tipo de tabuleiro é esse com as bolas?
What are these balls in the board all about?
This is the Nim game. My favorite. I'm unbeatable.
Really? How do you play?
Well, one has to... Yes, exactly. Each of us takes turns to remove any number of marbles from the board, but only marbles from one plane of the pyramid. And whoever takes the last marble loses. Do you want to play?
Sim. Eu começo.
Right then. I'll start.
Agora eu tenho que tirar 2 ou 3? Ah, eu só posso tirar de uma coluna, de uma linha. E eu vou pegar a última.
Well, I've won.
But only because you were lucky.
That's not luck. That is strategy. Superior intellectual stuff. You want to play again?
Sim, mas você começa.
Off we go. You start.
Ele tirou essa daqui. E eu tiro esta. Ele tirou aqui. Eu vou tirar essas 3. Agora eu vou de uma em uma aqui embaixo. Agora as 2 de baixo. Tomou!
That is... No.
Come on, you have to take a marble.
But that would mean I have lost?
Yep, that's exactly what it would mean.
But I never lose.
It certainly would be better that way. What would your people say if the godlike Pharaoh were to lose against a mere mortal?
They must never find out.
You could bribe me with something.
Yes, or I could have you squashed by my golem.
A bribe? Excellent idea.
Aha! Of course. I just came up with that. What would you like?
The Book of the Dead?
It's yours. In exchange, you won't tell anyone that I watched the temple virgins when they were changing.
Agreed.
Por que ele não pega?
The Book of the Dead. So what now?
Just missing the compass now?
To the Red Pirate. I'll have a look where the tunnel leads. If we'd known about this passage before, it would have saved us a lot of trouble.
Perhaps MacGuffin wanted to protect the tomb from tomb raiders. Or he wanted to have a private entrance so he could clear the tomb at a later date himself.
Cast off.
Então é isso. Hoje vamos parando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, a torcida, desejando boa noite, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.